Hi everyone, and welcome to Almost Cancelled. I'm Peter, and this is Connor.
Hey guys.
We're going to talk about Outcast, Season 1, Episode 8. It's called What Lurks Within. Full spoilers, as always. So, I thought this was a pretty good episode. Pretty grim.
Yeah, that's one way of putting it.
We got the origin of the person who Sydney was, like his body, like who the person he was.
It's kind of impressive that they made the man more scary than the demon.
Yeah, a little bit. So it turns out he was like a child murderer before
Hmm.
he became possessed.
Aye, it's lovely, isn't it?
Yeah, because when the episode started and it was just like him, like kidnapping kids, I'm like, yeah, it didn't necessarily occur to me that this was just the human.
Not on me either at first. You think, oh, some sort of demonic ritual sort of thing.
Uh,
That's what you jump
yeah,
to, isn't it?
he's kids to fuel his s- demon
Yeah, it's not
time
like
machine. I don't
kids'
know.
blood has never been used in any other movie-based demonic
Exactly.
thing.
Exactly. Nah, it turns out he's just a creepy killer who wants
Yeah.
to kill kids, and gives them ice lollies or popsicles for the American audience. Um, so that was good stuff. What I did like everything else though. So Anderson becomes more kind of crazy looking to everyone else, to the point where everyone thinks Kyle's the less crazy one now.
Yeah, it's a fun role reversal to see people react that way.
Yeah, he's completely breaking down, and it's kind of interesting to watch. Mainly, a lot of this comes from the thing that he did last episode, where he spouted nonsense in front of the town.
Ah, what a fool.
But this week he tries to get Kyle to exorcise the fireman's wife, and it turns out the fireman, everything that went on in that cabin in the woods, or a cabin, the camper or
Shack.
the shack, yeah, the little thing, yeah, that thing, that that was all because when people first get possessed, they go apeshit and they can't handle it, and all the different DNA that they found was from different people that apparently after his wife was possessed, they all started, like, they went out and helped other people who were possessed.
We really learned a lot about the demons this episode, actually.
We did get quite a lot of it. We also learned about how evil and awful ginger people are in this
Well,
episode.
you know, personal experience could have told you that.
It could have, but I mean, seriously, there was so much screen time for that evil ginger shit in this episode. I didn't even know what to do. He's lying to the police so that the spawn of Satan can get off scot free. He's having dinner with him. He's calling his mother a whore. He's doing all sorts of shit. He's awful. He's the worst. He's the scourge of humanity, quite
I love
frankly.
how this is a show about demon possession, and this is also an episode that featured child killers, and you're fixating on how awful the ginger is.
He was awful, though. I wanted to punch him the entire time. He's just got one of those faces.
It's just true, but you think that about all gingers.
No, but he has this particularly bad face. It's like you with the douchebag turned up to 11.
That's fair.
You're at about an 8.
It's not much of an increase then, is it?
Still, more punchable. More punchable all the same. So yeah, he's awful. But do you know what I loved as well? So we got Kyle's got his daughter back after his wife ran off last week. Actually, one of the interesting comments we got in last week's episode was that she might actually be pregnant now because they had sex last week,
That's true.
and what that might mean. Kyle being who Kyle is, even though technically wouldn't that mean his daughter's already maybe different?
You'd think, but then is it hereditary? Because obviously his mother wasn't anything.
No,
Then again, we don't
it's
know
true.
anything about his father, do we?
We don't, no. So I don't know, possible. But I liked him looking after his daughter and like coming over to Megan to have her look after her for the afternoon. And I loved it when she opened the door and seen the kid. As soon as the kid went to play with her like cousin, she was like, "What did you do?"
Yeah.
I like that she just immediately assumed he like did something bad and kidnapped her.
To be fair, he hasn't led her to believe that it should be a good thing.
No, that's true, true. But that was the other thing is after everything goes down, he goes to see Sydney, and we learn that the demons like kind of peacefully coexist with the humans.
Yeah, they're
'Cause
both there.
Because Sydney tries to argue that wouldn't it be better for Kyle's mother to be coexisting with the demon rather than being a vegetable?
It's a very compelling argument.
Well, that's the whole thing with the fireman, isn't it? He actually prefers the possessed version of the wife.
Yeah, and we see when you look at them, we see how they've been living there for years after the failed exorcisms, and obviously they've got along with their lives perfectly well for the most part.
Yeah, and the whole thing where they don't pick their hosts, it just kind of happens randomly. But they're drawn to Kyle because the example he uses is like a flame,
Mm.
and like, moths going to a flame kind of thing. So, no, I thought it was interesting. But yeah, I like Kyle actually flat out saying what we've been talking about for weeks now, that his wife was possessed and beat up his daughter,
Yeah.
and he's been trying to not let her remember that because it'll ruin her. And we obviously got all this, and we really loved when this all came up in episode 5. So I like that he flat out told his sister this, and I also like that she didn't immediately just think he's a crazy mofo. She, even if she's not completely on board with the idea, she can see the genuine concern on him.
Yeah, I think she believes him just enough that she's always defended him to the point where she thinks he does the right thing. So she thinks maybe she believes it to a point. Maybe not the possession, like that sort of stuff, but believes that she snapped and then can't remember it.
Yeah. She believes enough of it that she is going on with it. And speaking of Megan, actually, her and Mark, I thought had a. There wasn't much of them in this episode. It was basically just, we're still fighting about the fact that you beat the rapist to almost to death, and now we're in a financial.
Yeah, they did
turmoil.
confirm that he took the money. Because we debated this a bit last week, didn't we?
Yeah, because we never seen it. Yeah, so.
Because we were saying, he pushes the envelope back, and we weren't entirely sure.
Well, yeah, because remember, like, one of my things that I feared with her reaction was that he'd made her do something else.
Yeah.
But now it seems that she just convinced him to take the money, and then he went and done it anyway.
Yeah.
Which, fair enough. And but no, I actually thought the scene where they reconcile was actually really sweet.
Yeah, it was.
Um,
Although, is it just me that really wanted to see the shit heap truck and see how bad it is?
yeah, that was just you.
Oh, damn it.
I didn't care.
I really want to know how bad it was. Like, because, you want to see how much he gave up. What shit heap did he actually take? Or is he just exaggerating?
Well, I really like the whole he can take my money, he can take my badge, but he's not taking your ring kind of thing.
Yeah, it was nice.
It was a nice moment, and it was nice to see them reconcile, because I think I don't know if I would have been on board for them being mad at each other for like more episodes.
It would have got old. It helped that there wasn't much of them in this because we didn't see them mad at each other that
No,
much.
they got us the point across that they're pissed at each other and that they're in a really bad place after what happened last time.
I think not showing it works because you don't need to see any more of it. You get that they're pissed, and then you get the time has passed and they're still pissed. You just assume in between, yeah, they're obviously still pissed. You don't need to see it.
Yeah, because the conversation about the kid, like the kid not being stupid and noticing things, tells you time's passed because they've been fighting for a while, and that's kind of all you need to it. Gets the point across. So
It's good, right?
it is. Yeah. So no. Anything else? Am I missing anything?
I don't think so.
No. Ginger's evil. Spawn of Satan.
Very much.
No, but it's interesting though. I'm curious to see where they go with this whole. Like, are the people possessed actually in a weird way better off? Now, I'm assuming they're not. I'm assuming that when this plan that they're building to, because we've heard that something's going to go down with Kyle. Like, they're prepping for something. That when this goes down, we're going to see that, oh no, there's actually some evil here. And I think the flashbacks that ended when Sidney gets possessed, and it shows him letting the boy go, and us going, wait, so he's not maybe as evil as we thought, even though we know he is. He slit his neighbour's throat. Like, Kyle's neighbour got murdered by him. He's evil as shit.
He is, but he's not evil enough to kill the kids for no reason.
Yeah, but I think that's strategically there to make us put a bit of doubt in our heads that they are full on evil. But I'm going to cynically say, well, no, of course they're evil, because that's the whole point of the show, is that eventually they're going to show their true colours and we're going to have evil to fight.
It's true, but I think I'd almost be more interested if they weren't all outright evil.
Yeah, if some of them were actually just trying to, like, enjoy life on Earth.
Yeah. I feel like that'd be more interesting, because then how do you tell them apart?
Well, some of them might be like that. Like the fireman's wife might be like that.
No, they might, but I'd like them to deal with that a little bit. And then it's how does he know who to exercise and who should stay as they are? Like who is better off?
But then even then, like the person didn't choose to be possessed, and
They didn't, but he is just destroying them. It's kind of genocide. They didn't choose to possess them either.
I guess that's fair. I don't know if I'd count it as genocide when what we're talking about is demons and not people, or
It's still genocide if you wipe out a race.
do demons from hell count as a race?
Semantics, you know.
Someone's going to comment saying we're being racist about demons in this episode. All right, I think we'll wrap up there. You know what? Like, I'm a little upset there's been no bodily fluid jokes to make in the last like 4 episodes, but at the same time the show's been better.
It's kind of matured beyond it.
Yeah, but at the same time I do miss making jokes about bodily fluids. So
Yeah, I get you.
let's get back to it, Outcast, shall we?
Let's have the best of both worlds.
Yeah, we'll get 2 episodes left, so we'll see how the season wraps up. And obviously we're at the end of Act 2, if you will, of the season, because everyone's at their darkest point. Well, maybe not Kyle, but the Reverend definitely is. In terms of his story, he's at the end of his Act 2, and he's losing his church, he's losing everything.
It's
Everyone thinks
interesting
he's crazy.
because Kyle kind of started at that point.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. Well, maybe that's kind of the point, though. Maybe it's inverse for him, and he's at his happiest, and then shit's going to get really dark from at the end.
That's,
Oh god, they're going to kill
yeah.
his kid, aren't they?
Oh god.
Oh, let's hope not. That's Outcast. Let us know what you thought in the comments below and all that stuff. Like and subscribe, it helps us out a lot. Thanks very much for watching, guys. We will see you next time.